Welcome back to the channel, friends. I'm deeply honored that you're here with me today. Whether you've been part of our community for a long time or you're just discovering us for the first time, I want to thank you for choosing to spend your time here, where we reflect on life's deeper questions, seek truth beneath the surface, and learn how to live more intentionally, more freely, more awake. Today's message is one that comes from the quiet realization that many of us only reach after we've been through something, after we've tried and failed, after we've loved and lost, after we've been betrayed, or burned out, or pushed so hard we couldn't breathe. And suddenly, in that silence after the noise fades, we understand. Time is not infinite. Energy is not limitless. Peace is not automatic. And the rest of your life is simply too expensive to be wasted. That's what we are going to explore today. Not from a place of fear, but from a place of power. Because once you truly understand how valuable your time is, you stop giving it to things that don't matter. You stop entertaining people who drain you. You stop pursuing paths that don't fulfill you. You stop justifying choices that betray your own soul. You begin, finally, to live not for others, not for appearances, but for the quiet knowing inside you that says, I'm done settling. This realization usually doesn't come with a celebration. It comes quietly. Maybe it comes after years of burnout, or after one night of crying on the bathroom floor. Or maybe it comes when you wake up one morning and realize you feel nothing at all, that you've been sleepwalking through your own life. And then, something inside you says, no more. That voice, that small, fierce whisper, is the beginning of everything. It's not loud, it's not angry, but it's clear. It knows something must change, and that clarity, no matter how fragile it feels, is the root of your rebirth. The rest of your life is too expensive to waste trying to be liked by people who don't even like themselves. It's too expensive to waste in relationships where love is currency you have to beg for. It's too expensive to waste in jobs that crush your soul just to pay your bills. It's too expensive to waste pretending you're fine when you're not. And so, you begin to return to yourself. You begin to look at your life with honest eyes. You ask, where am I betraying myself just to keep the peace? What have I been tolerating that is slowly killing my joy? What would I choose if I believed I deserved better? These are not easy questions, but they are essential, because clarity is not always kind at first. It asks you to confront truths you've been avoiding. It asks you to leave places you've stayed too long. It asks you to choose yourself even when it makes others uncomfortable. But what you get in return is worth everything. You get peace. You get alignment. You get mornings that don't begin with dread. You get relationships that feel like home, not performances. You get days filled with meaning, not just motion. Let me tell you a story. A woman in her late 40s, let's call her Elise, spent 2 decades in a marriage that was emotionally numb. No abuse, oh screaming, just silence, loneliness, disconnection. She told herself it was fine, that she was lucky, that at least they had stability. But one day, while cleaning out an old box in her attic, she found a letter she had written to herself in her 20s. In it, she described all the dreams she had: traveling, writing, dancing, loving fully. She read the letter with tears in her eyes. That young woman felt like a stranger. Something cracked open. She didn't leave her marriage overnight, but she started therapy. She began journaling. She traveled alone for the first time. She took a dance class. She started writing again. 2 years later, she left the marriage not in anger, but in truth. She said, I don't hate him, but I can't keep abandoning myself to make others comfortable. That was the turning point. She now lives in a small coastal town, teaches yoga, writes poetry, and says, I'm not trying to live a big life. I'm just trying to live a real one. This is what it means to stop wasting your life. It's not about dramatic changes or sudden transformations. It's about remembering who you were before the world told you who to be. It's about choosing presence over performance, joy over perfection, peace over people-pleasing. Your time is your currency. Spend it like it matters. Your attention is your power. Protect it like it's sacred. Your presence is your legacy. Live it like it's holy. Maybe you've wasted years trying to be enough. Maybe you've spent too long in rooms that dimmed your light. Maybe you've broken your own heart trying to keep someone else happy. That's okay. Forgive yourself. You were surviving. You were doing what you knew. But now that you see more clearly, you can choose differently. You can begin again. You can draw boundaries without guilt. You can say no without explanation. You can leave without regret. You can rest without apology. And most importantly, you can choose to live a life that actually feels like yours. Not a life built on shoulds. Not a life made of sacrifice without satisfaction. But a life rooted in soul, not in scripts. A life where you wake up and say, "This is what I choose." Let's talk about relationships. If someone can't meet you with honesty, with presence, with tenderness, they are not for you. If you have to shrink to stay in someone's life, you're paying too high a price. If you are the only one showing up, you're carrying more than your share. The rest of your life is too expensive to be spent in halfway love. Love that hurts more than it heals is not love. Affection that disappears when you need it most is not love. Choose people who choose you. Not just in their words, but in their effort. Not just in their promises, but in their consistency. Not just when it's easy, but when it matters. And if you're alone right now, know this: solitude is not punishment. It's preparation. You sit well. Heal. Reflect. Grow. Build a life so nourishing that anyone who comes in has to rise to meet it. Because the rest of your life is not a rehearsal. This is it. And it's sacred. So be bold with your rests. Be unapologetic with your knowers. Be ruthless with your boundaries. Be generous with your joy. Be gentle with your heart. And most of all, be true to your soul. If you've been waiting for a sign, this is it. You're allowed to leave what's breaking you. You're allowed to want more. You're allowed to start over. Not because you failed, but because you grew. If this message stirred something inside you, please share it. Let it be the mirror someone else needs. Leave a comment below. Tell me about your turning point, your awakening, your clarity. And of course, like this video, subscribe to the channel, and join us for more truth, more light, and more reminders that you are worthy of a life that feels like home. Thank you for watching this video.